be defeated.
It's always a pleasure. It's Moite. Yes, Saint Shonro MKO Apida retired. Nigerians came out in large numbers to vote in what is widely regarded as the freest and the fairest president. Lessons have we truly learned? Stay with us. You can join our live stream on Citizen FM 93.7. On YouTube, you can type in Insight, and then you will be part of the w.citizenfm Abuja. On Instagram at citizenfm937, and also on X at citizenfm937. Welcome to the show. Well, our guest on the show, Abiola, the Kudirat Abiola. Welcome to the show. He was before now Special Alhaji Jamiu Abiola.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, and we thank God that you win an election on the United by a very powerful military ruling elite. From November 1992, Salam came on board, and we were all very optimistic in terms of our breadwinner. Salam, he released everyone, all the notable political prisoners, but left my father, where he was in detention. And he actually, Abacha died in June, just as he was about to be killed, or that is when they were allowed to see him. But before that, they allowed Kofi Annan, who was the Secretary General of the United Nations, and Emeka Anyako, who was the Commonwealth, to my dad and his own terrible 3 days.
Okay, he died. Do you know what?
Abacha died, and the family here, I'm talking about doing Abiola. See him by that time, I was still in the United States. The family with my father, I was still in the United States. The family with my father's eldest child on July, so when I allowed to see him, so that he's on record to see him, and he was going to die. He said he wasn't feeling well. His stepmother was going to die. He said he wasn't feeling well. His stepmother, and he was then. The issue of his health was not really. It was not good at all, and he complained bitterly about that. So they knew he wasn't healthy. They knew
June 12 elected, even though
or from the Arab with Hausa. So true, and Arab with Hausa. So true, and he had people accumulate. He had people accumulate. Somebody that was a politician dedicated to get very close to him, and we now had a special bond through that. And we were able to talk more and more. And because I could speak Arabic, it just felt like I was an angel. He speaks Arabic, but obviously you can.
From daddy.
I can use that.
About your dad's public. To know
it was a very. As a matter of fact, to make president whenever ruled, that book Presidency as a child, when he was a child. I'm talking about it covers every more interesting so that people that are saying this happened. I wanted to make it fun, so I made it into a novel with characters, and it's a real novel anyway. So, but so as a father, to answer your distance, he go one day we're going to only spend the time. But one day he has gone again and he has forgotten about it. We forget about it. So
certainly MKB across ethnic and religious divide.
1 naira, and it might still do what you want, but it might do. I want you to do this for me. And you don't even want to give her anything. She might still Nigerian. Some people for him financially, and not people that can actually ever help him. Number one, for him financially, and not people that can actually ever help him. Number one, some of them, he doesn't even remember he helped them. So how can you even benefit from somebody you don't even remember? He doesn't even remember he helped them. So how can you even benefit from somebody you don't even remember? And they've gone for president, and Nigerians were able to love him. That's why he became so powerful. And they've gone for president, and Nigerians were able to love him. That's why he became so powerful.
So if you're just joining the June 12 MKO Abiola, just joining the June 12 MKO Abiola, let's talk about your John. Such
somebody that natural react
about your John. Such
somebody that natural reaction is concerned hiding. She was right there and she saw them a prisoner hiding. She was right there and she saw them a prisoner of Nigeria. Now stopped the car on the road, and then her car from following him say to herself that no struggle for him began. Got involved in motivates to make sure that struggle for him began. Got involved in motivates to make sure that to kill her because she was a witness based on what she saw, and she was going to go all the way.
We look at the sequence of events. Was there any point in time
the time that was the biggest Alfred Rani, they could always lie and say or something, so they could always Alfred Rani, they could always lie and say or something, so they could always countries withdrew them. I used to always talk to her and telling her that if she wants to keep the I was reading the news people, she had actually told them, and when the people that were put, she would have been arrested because they said if she's found guilty, she will be jailed for 7 years. So she was already on the guilty, she will be jailed for 7 years. So she was already on the she was about to get arrested and jailed. The worst thing that can happen with her is for her to receive a bullet. That's what she told me. So she knew that this thing is getting to the point because it now happened eventually.
Even though you take it,
so
who called you?
It was like my father had an American personal assistant called Mr. Echo. There was his wife. Oh, by the way, Mr. Echo's wife is going to bury him to his wife. Oh, by the way, Mr. Echo's wife is going to bury him today, but So I came So I came back to 9.5, and you have the tragedy upon a tragedy. But back to 9.5, and you have the tragedy upon a tragedy. But they're heroes for all.
Well, we know the efforts by the pro-democracy activists during this time and how they rallied around. But you're able to reach out to some of the powerful people in government. I know that to reach out to some of the powerful people in government. I know that
at the end of the day, the only person we went to, Thomas was already looking at him like they said that we should. The only person we went to, Thomas was already looking at him like they said that we should just go and meet the commissioner of police on our own. So at that point, everybody was staying away because at that point we were seen as the enemy of the government. And once you're the enemy of the government, nobody wants to come close to you. And we're able to fully and
all right. The phone lines are open now, my guest.
Fully and
all right. The phone lines are open now, my guest. Winner of the colors on 09797. You can also 9797. You can also less. Yes. Yes.
We'll share with the family speak to us today.
Okay. 0397. You can also still numbers 3. President YouTube 0397. You can also still numbers 3. President YouTube, Citizen FM FMs are also there. You can reach out to us and also on X. All right, Dad are not business empires when it came to business and enterprise.
Marketing skill. My father
was business empires when it came to business and enterprise.
Marketing skill. My father and the kind of business he did had is Thomas, which is Nigerian government. And once he was able to call a long story short in one basket, industry was falling protected. So he was a good businessman. Not his whole profit. Aim in his life. No, I think he kept doing it. His whole profit. Aim in his life. No, I think he kept doing it, and that's part of the reason why he kept doing it, and that's part of the reason why salesman.
Those businesses now after
should do salesman.
Those businesses now after
should do Mara's was after he died, but nobody was a shareholder in the company. Mara's was after he died, but nobody was a shareholder in the company, and those companies that actually been affected. Get out of environment during the company's forward, but
unfortunately, this is also painting a picture. Is this a bother to you because of?
Yes, it happens. Definitely, everything was going well before. Then all of a sudden, what happened before? This, what happened to other people? We have not even been through what always. This, what happened to other people? We have not even been through what always scandal, you know. It's I wish I was from principle in life is even if I want to be great, lived and died. 4th Street. They named the street after without the struggle. So there's always
perhaps not because it was such a big
actually Nigeria, and like you know fought for, and there are only 4 children, and therefore happened. And it's not get out of the woods in addition to all this problem.
I mentioned there were servers who were thwarted, but in your
people have been interfering in tradition. Just that, like having matters resolved. I mean, they will say to themselves that again, isn't it better? So
you said one of the papers
they asked me that like shouldn't they now? I mean, we're gonna go to his grave and wake him up and testify. I mean, just say what I said.
All right, talk aspiration when it comes.
This thing is for us as a people from the south. If you represent something good, I'll vote for you. You know. I want Nigerians to reach the stage in which when people are talking about who they're going to vote for, the last thing on their mind is where the person comes from. When people are talking about who they're going to vote for, the last thing on their mind is where the person comes from. I believe that this person is from Akwa Ibom, and this
any level, elective, any level, elective.
You of course wanted to be president. I mean, I could test elective. You of course wanted to be president. I mean, I could test first. I don't want to fail in line at the right time. Indication that I'm supposed to do something. I do fail in line at the right time. Indication that I'm supposed to do something.
3.7 the phone line, so call us on 081 the sound and on linguistic issue without talking about your current portfolio now in the government. A special assistant to the president on linguistic and foreign matters. Foreign policy.
Build life. We want to build it deserves and learning languages. I'm translator in German, Arabic, 7 international languages. Department. Improving our trade relations expand. So when I look into that as well, like I apply for visas and a fair deal.
Very huge challenge. And even the
bilateral relationship being overthrown by military. I think this powerful country working hard to strengthen, because you know sometimes fair treatment, because look at what they've done, what needs to be done.
Crisis here
over and over.
Crisis here
over and over. And not really, actually effective. Any human being can be effective. Any human being can be happy. I'm hoping that
not for Nigeria battling
countries are hoping that
not for Nigeria battling
countries, to grow if they can. Countries, to grow, if they can grow and grow, keep trying and I'm to become democratic again. By the time those countries want to keep trying and I'm to become democratic again. By the time those countries want to
you also spoke passing drum. When you meet Nigeria, this country, what do you tell them? Also spoke passing drum. When you meet Nigeria, this country, what do you tell them?
So easy to look at everything. It's like how your wife driving. You look at Canada on the internet. So easy to look at everything. It's like how your wife driving. You look at Canada on the internet. When you go there, you experience. But if at the big picture,
when we're on,
but if at the big picture,
when we're on inside time at the 5 to 10 years,
government that in just 2 years, we're talking about like a ministry of security. I mean, when it comes to security, what we've been looking for is to help. That's another part. As we're not going to be dependent. I've gone further as mentioned now. That's another part. As we're not going to be dependent. I've gone further as mentioned now.
All right, and
Sunday
kids.
At the end of the day, it's my life.
Your other brother, Kolabiola.
I don't really talk all over, we'll talk again.
Mentions on Yola family. Could like today my guest at presidential election. And returns 11 o'clock. We have a returns 11 o'clock. We have a